There we go. I built the first smart river table.
Recently, we remodeled my office, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been more inspired and got more done in there than I ever have since we moved in this building.
Okay.
So I knew it was time to step it up in the team's office, and not to mention, hundreds of you commented that we need to give the guys a better office for them to work in. So we also recently built this kitchen so the guys have a little bit of a better common area.
Okay.
And if you remember, we did this media console here that's got this like kind of futuristic space vibe going on. And right now it's our pseudo 3D print farm till we figure out where to put those. And this conference table has been here basically since we bought the building and I built it. And this is what we need to change. Now I want to do something that's classic John Malecki. Some walnut, maybe some epoxy, some glass, some brass or metal, but Sam and Joe are insisting that we do something that's got some tech involved. So we think we came up with a concept that's gonna be the best of both worlds, and we're gonna build the world's first ever technologically advanced river table conference table. So this one's got a lot of moving parts, a bunch of stuff that we've never done, should get pretty weird and be a lot of fun. And not to mention, we've only got 5 days to do it because we have a huge meeting coming up that we have to have it done for. So things should get squirrely. Now let's get into it. So here's kind of what we came up with. We're gonna do just a kind of pretty run-of-the-mill tabletop here. That'll be about 1.5 to 2 inches thick. The kicker is we've got this killer LED screen that you can use like a pen on. It's like a gigantic iPad that's gonna be interactive. We're also gonna have some integrated power for people working on both sides. Maybe add a couple other tech things that we don't quite have yet. Sam's gonna go ahead and design a base of some sort to hold this whole thing up. And then underneath it here, we should be able to build a box or something that is gonna house all of the wires and stuff as they come out of the TV bottom. And we're gonna have HDMI cables and some other stuff here to make that work. So to bring it all together, what I'm thinking is if we could do 2 slabs that essentially mimic one another, so they're like sisters, and I've got, I think, the perfect tree in my inventory for it. Then we can come back and have a nice like blue glass or acrylic or something river that's in here, and then this whole thing will sit on top of this, and we'll have some indexing pins, and then maybe even on the base, when it's not being used, we'll have a way to store it
sick, I'm not gonna lie.
down here so it's out of the way while we're working on the top. So that's kind of the rough concept of what we're gonna do here. Now it's a matter of figuring out what the hell is gonna happen. So here's a plan we came up with because we've only got 5 days. I'm gonna tackle the top because I feel like that's my forte. Joe and Sam are gonna take the sub base and the base parts. They're gonna come up with whatever that's gonna look like and how we're gonna incorporate the top and any CNC stuff that's gonna be involved. I'll then go ahead and get all of the pocket situation figured out, whether I do that by hand or I'm gonna do that on the CNC, and then Sam's gonna bring it all home in the finishing booth. Like I said, we've only got 5 days, so it's gonna be super tight, but if we hit all of the benchmarks that we want to for this project, we should be able to get it done and have it perfectly ready to rock and roll for this huge meeting that we've got coming up for the team. Let's go play with some wood.
Day 1.
So to get started, we have these 2 walnut slabs. They've been kind of just hanging out around the shop here for the past few months. We've been looking for a project to use them for, and this is the project. We're gonna go ahead and get these guys flattened, ready to go. There's a few pockets and voids in them, so hopefully we shouldn't have too much of an issue. We did have one discovery while checking these slabs out. Little bug right there. His name is Jasper.
Good day, mate.
Jasper.
He gave his life for this slab, so we're gonna try to do him the honor of servicing these things properly. We're gonna go ahead and get these into the CNC and get started.
Jasper.
All right, so we have our walnut here on the CNC bed. There's a lot of cool figuring within this wood. There's also a lot of these little pockets here with little rotted bits of walnut in there. So hopefully we don't get massive voids whenever we flatten this, but we will have some voids that will most likely need filled or addressed to some degree. But overall, I think it's a very pretty slab.
There's like walnuts in it.
Right.
Yeah, there's actually,
I eat that.
Jason noticed this, there's walnuts embedded in the tree or in the slab, which is pretty cool. I've never seen that before.
That is cool.
And you can see if you get close there, they're actually like the tree kind of like grew with these walnuts in there. Maybe, I don't know. Is that how it works? I'm not much of an arborist, so comment before if you've seen
They both grew at the same
walnuts
time.
in your tree before. We got our third pass down
Big
on
ass
here,
machine.
and I have to say it's not too twisted. I actually think may be able to yield 2 inches out of this. It's 3 inches in the rough. We probably took about a half off this side, half off the other side. So we may get ourselves a thick old tabletop, which would be nice.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and flip this thing over to the other side, flattener, do the exact same thing to that slab over there, and continue on with this lovely process.
So the slab is flat, and I gotta say, she's gorgeous. A really nice piece of wood here. Relatively pretty flat coming off of the old girl here. So let's get on the bench out there, cut this bitch in half, and I'm gonna start cleaning it up so we can turn it into, I guess we're gonna call it a false tabletop, but it would be a real tabletop. It's gonna kind of like pretend on some days that it's not a tabletop. You gonna be able to carry that?
With ease.
I don't know.
140 pounds
of rock solid muscle.
As we do around here, let's play
Muscle.
with some slab. And the first thing I like to do when I get myself a nice brand new slab like this is I like to cut her in half. All right, going with kind of an eyeball cut here. Give me put that thing in the center of, how does that make you feel, Mr. Pula?
Mildly enthused.
Even though it's not perfectly centered, I think that's what I want to go with. Got to use this void to my advantage down here. Like just, in my opinion, when you're designing stuff like this. That would look dumb if I
like
only
that.
included it on one side.
I like that. I like they said that. I like they said that.
They're perfectly centered. I think that's what I want to go with. Got to use this void to my advantage down here. Like just, in my opinion, when you're designing stuff like this. That would look dumb if I only included it on one side. So, I'm gonna give her a little snapperoo. Are you ready?
Ready.
Are you ready?
Ready?
All right, let's throw a piece of foam under this. Cut her in half. Atta girl. Now we have a river table, kids. River dancing. So we got to do the first thing you do when you're building any sort of river table, epoxy or not. Lay that bitch out, give her a good look, scowl at it, talk about how much cooler you are than everyone else on the internet, and then realize you made a mistake. I don't know what our mistake is yet, but it's there.
You working on any sort of playbooks lately?
Well, now that you mention it, yes, I have. I've been working on all of these systems and products for our
Cut it in
new
half
coaching and
and then
mentorship
using the,
program where I teach you exactly how to grow a
using the
business
edges
just
as
like
the
this or
middle
use
river.
content in order to
That's
scale
dope.
your business. Who didn't know I was doing that? Everyone, John.
How can I find out more?
I got a link. You can sign up for our free newsletter. Get all my knowledge down below. When I bought these slabs, I actually bought the whole tree. So this is the system. For what we're trying to do here, we don't want a massive gap between, because I've already been yelled at by my team, and they think it's a dumb idea to have a gap in a table. And I think dumb ideas are the best. Even though it's not intelligent, I do want to see if I can pretty this bitch up a bit. So Jeff and I have been working on cleaning up the slabs here. We're getting all of the bark inclusions out of the voids, even though this is a project for me, which means it doesn't have to be perfect. I lied, it's for the guys. It does have to be perfect. So we're removing all bark inclusions. If you're building stuff like this, bark inclusions are a no-no. You want to get them out of there. They will continue to shrink as the wood dries, and they'll actually fall out, they'll loosen. Bark is bad. I've been saying it for years. You don't want to keep bark in your projects. So we're gonna get all that out, we're gonna clean all those out, and then we're gonna fill them with black resin and let it sit while we get working on some other stuff.
Black resin.
All right, even though it's not a deep pour, we still got to get all these like cracks and stuff filled. So I've just got some Total Boat High Performance here. I tinted it with a black charcoal, and now I'm just gonna fill these holes It's gonna suck up a lot of it, which is fine because it's bark inclusions.
Okay.
But these will eventually level out to be nice and flat. This is a massive hole in it, so I just dumped all this resin onto here, and the great news is once that starts to heat up, it's gonna melt, which is gonna be phenomenal to try and clean up here.
Okay.
All right, we're here with one of my closest friends in the shop, Russian birch plywood. Look at that.
Russian birch
So we're going to be
plywood.
using that plywood to make our legs. I came up with this rough design. I just burned this out
Okay.
of a 1/4 inch we had laying around. Just measuring
That's a heavy
our
table.
sheet goods here to get the exact size of it, get the thickness, so we can put this file in the CNC,
That looks
cut
so
this
thick.
out, stack these, glue them, bondo the
Maybe just
edges,
one.
and then have some legs
just
for
want
our
like two.
table. There may be acrylic. We may put some acrylic on the outside. I don't know if that's approved yet. I think it might be. Maybe we'll do it. Joe agrees. He's nodding.
You're the one approving it.
I approve it. We're gonna put acrylic on the outside edge. John got these things sealed and pre-filled, so we are gonna go ahead and mix up some black epoxy, pour it in these voids, let it
Okay.
sit, and then tomorrow we should be all good to flatten.
It seems so simple, sitting. But the chair you choose affects your back, your bones, your brain, your
True.
whole day.
It's now time to cut the legs out of the CNC. Never done this before. Never designed anything to be cut out of the CNC before, but guess what is happening? Right now, this very moment, this computer, that CNC, this fine piece of Russian birch plywood, also known as the Red Menace. You want some of this, you call, say I need a 4x8 sheet of the Red Menace, they'll ship you this. So we're
Okay.
gonna go ahead and cut these legs out. The plan is to cut out this shape several times, stack it, glue it, bondo it, paint it, and make it look as if it's not comprised of several sheets of plywood. So we're gonna see if this works. I think it will, might not. We'll find out together.
So Sam's getting the base assembled. The epoxy is dry in all of these cracks and voids. So I'm gonna run it through Sandy Cheeks here, bring everything down, and then get these ready to start fitting the glass. We're doing acrylic, but we're gonna fit the acrylic river to it. So just a couple passes through here and we should be good to go.
Nope.
Now on to the fun stuff. I'm handling this just like I do a glass river. I got a big piece of tracing paper here. We ordered this when we did our last river table, which I couldn't even tell you when that was. All right, so this is now as like nice and flat as we're gonna get it. So now I'll come back and I'll trace our river. I've got everything laid out below. It's at 40 inches. It's exactly as I want it. I like to get the sapwood in as much as I can, so we'll probably just do a 2-inch kind of overhang here. This is kind of fragile, so like
Fragile.
it's not you don't need to be perfect here either. Like, so what I usually I'll probably end up doing, because this is a lot more curved to it, kind of make some marks. Then I'm just gonna eyeball this mother sucker. So I didn't like that, so I'm gonna do it again. Like I said, it's been a minute. I want to be able to see this graining a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is actually use the tracing paper like tracing paper. I'm just going to lay out kind of what I'm thinking in my head here, and I should be able to look down and see it. And then I'm going to get on a ladder and get squirrely. I don't know where Joe is, so I'm grabbing the camera.
Okay.
So I got
you threw it on the
all
thing and then
this
traced it out like that.
mapped out over here. Let's see if I can get down on it. Yeah. And I just took an overhead shot of it. So I'm going to hop on the computer now and lay it out and see if I can get a CNC profile to cut it. That'll save us a ton of time. Then I won't have to worry about doing all of the geometry and math and stuff that comes along with it that I absolutely hate.
All right, we have our
Okay, this is
leg
so
parts here,
they're pretty
all
thick.
cut out of the CNC.
That was just
All we're
the
gonna be doing
demo.
now is cleaning up these edges, removing the little dashes from the tabs, getting everything sanded, ready to be glued up. We're gonna stack these, glue them, screw them, bondo them, take them to paint, and then we should have ourselves some fine legs for this fine table very soon.
Okay.
We currently, right here, have the old Sharp 4WB55FT5U, a fine piece of machinery. We'll be embedding this thing in the table. It's an interactive display. You could use your hands, feet, any appendage you want to control this device. So we're gonna be unboxing it to check the size of the cord so we know how big to make that hole. We're gonna slice this tape open here. I left my knife in the truck. We're just gonna freewheel it with this razor blade here. I don't see what could possibly go wrong. She's in there. Hold on, there's a notice. There's a notice. We don't wanna break any rules. All right, we'll get to that when we need it. Oh wait, we got a cord in there? Is that, oh, let's see how big she is. The smaller the cord, the better. It'd be ideal if it didn't even have a ground, and it's looking like it might not. The Anticipation Brewing, could this be the cord? It's the interactive cord. Oh boy, it's looking like the power cord may be attached, which is not what I wanted.
How'd you get a mustache?
Well, Joe, from time to time, the mustache fairy will pay you a visit if you're a fine, upstanding gentleman, and will grace you with one of these dusters. That's one option.
Thank you. I was thinking that as well.
No,
Thank
we
you,
just got back from the Tricky Triangle, the Pocono Motor Speedway, Poconos Motor Speedway, and yeah, we had to look the part. And to be honest, I kind of like the duster. I may keep her for some time. Okay, this is the back of the TV. Where is this power cord at? Oh, there she is. There she is. We found it, power cord acquired. Does it remove? Absolutely not. Which means we're gonna need to make probably about a 1-inch channel. It's not the end of the world. It would have been a lot cooler if it would have detached and we could have did like a little 1/2-inch channel. That's all right, we shall persevere. Oh, let's get a path cleared out for the router and then get the router bit out and make the channel several times and glue these legs together. We're gonna glue these legs together. Is that a good mustache shot? Stash cam? Stash cam activated.
Stash cam.
I'm gonna try to grow it as long as I can. I'd just like to have a big old bushy mustache by the end of August. I think that should be enough time for my body to do it. May have to indulge in some supplements. If anyone knows any good mustache hair growth supplements, please comment the name down below. I don't care if it's edible, injectable, whatever it takes. Suppository, it doesn't matter. Anything we need. All right, so before I get these glued together, we need to feed the power cord down through this leg. However, we have an arc here and we need to have a channel that's at least 1.25 inches wide. So if we tried to do that in a straight line, we would either poke out here or poke out here. So I had to have a bit of an arc. So to achieve that, I cut this arc out of the laser at the width I need. I only have to do this on 2 of the pieces. So I'll just get some double-face tape, flush it up here, use this super handy little templating bit to go in. I'll make 2 passes, one about 1/4 inch, the second another 1/4. It'll give me a 1/2 inch curved dado in this. And I highly recommend these little templating bits, the short nubby guys, for anything like this. They're very, very handy to have. They probably get used at least twice a week here, I would say. You're a highly sought after little bit. Get yourself one. But now we're gonna go ahead, get this routed out, and we should be good to go.
I saved enough to take my mom on a cruise. What's all this?
It's Wells Fargo. They like to celebrate when the customers save. I am under my restaurant budget.
There you are. How about some sushi?
We're officially ready to start gluing these. We got this handy little glue roller here. We have our channel made out for our wire. As I said, I'm going to be bondoing and painting these, so we're not concerned about any screw or nail holes in this. So this will allow me to get this glued up and then start bondoing it without
okay.
having to wait
Oh, wait, is it-
excessive times for the dry time, because I'm going to use
crazy.
screws and brad nails to fasten this. Then I'll just plug the holes later.
Hey, they
If
still connected. He
we
just cut out
weren't
a
doing
bit.
that, I would need to put this in a vacuum bag, and it would be an ordeal.
Maybe
and I'd have
that's
to get everything aligned
the
and take a
slab.
long time to dry. But this should allow me to go a little
fancy
quicker.
roller.
You can see I mirrored that channel on the opposite piece.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get these lined up on here, and in my nail gun, I've got a 3/4 inch brad nail. Now this plywood's about 0.7 inches. So it's just that, and that nail will also sink in a little bit further than 3/4. So all that's gonna be used for is basically just a mini locating pin, so I could get these as close to flush as possible.
Absolutely.
Tack a few of these pins in to keep it in place, and then I'll come in with some 1¼ inch screws to apply some nice pressure so that this glue sets properly. Just like that. 2 layers stacked. Next
2
layer.
layers.
I'm just gonna say out loud verbally so I don't forget, or maybe if I do mess it up,
Who you
I'll
told
say,
you on the
"Man,
phone with?
he verbally
Tell
called
me."
it out, then messed it up, is I have this channel running through here. So I just need to make sure I don't send a screw in that path, because if I do, then it'll prevent the wire from coming through, and then on top of that, it'll be sandwiched together in between a bunch of Russian birch, and then I
Okay.
can't feed my cord through. So I'm gonna try to keep these screws away from that hole. And I don't think I'll forget now, because I've just said it, and I'm about to do it. I might forget. We
It's a thick
took
ass
every
leg then, no
precaution
one.
we could. You saw us lay the little piece on, but I prefaced it because I knew it was going to happen, but thank goodness it's close to the edge. Go show the fine folks where we shot that nail. About 3 inches in. Luckily, a multi-tool is conveniently right here. It's going to be solved. Look how happy John is with this. I knew it was going to happen. I prefaced it beforehand. I said I might screw it up, so let's just document it in case I do. But this is going to be all right.
Well,
Yeah.
time to see if we can try not to break shit on the CNC. I'm gonna cut a river out of a piece of MDF. I wanna make sure the river toolpath's perfect because we are cutting that out of acrylic. And so the CNC will do a way better job than me doing it by hand. And should give us a cleaner edge and all that kind of stuff. We are doing acrylic because we plan on making this thing removable, like we said before. And lastly, the CNC will go way faster and we are on a time crunch. So I've got everything on this kind of set and ready to rock and roll. Now it's just a matter of getting it into the program and letting it rip.
Okay.
Now let's see if we got this right. So the issue is we're all pretty incompetent CNC operators.
Okay.
So like getting this to scale properly has given us some problems. Damn you computers. So as much as I'd love to use the CNC, I'm too stupid. I can't figure out what's going wrong. This is the third one of these we've done,
Sure.
and they just keep coming out wrong. So I'm gonna have to do it by hand, which means I'm gonna be nuts to butts on time, and I'm gonna have to cut acrylic, clean this up, and I'll show you what this is gonna look like.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna attempt to do here is cut this out with the jigsaw, staying like as close and tight as I can on the line without tearing it so that I can use the negative as my template. I think we're home free. That went a lot better than I expected. Brand new blade and the jigsaw was great. I'll say the thing that we didn't oversee is I have a massive fan behind you, and then this was blowing straight in my face. So thank God for shop shades, because I'd be blind right now. Now it's a moment of truth. Let's see if this
good
river
coverage showing
actually
around the
fits.
eyes.
It's not perfect. That's the top of the line jigsaw, and it still doesn't cut perfectly straight. We are considerably closer, which is what matters. Because I know that our coverage is exactly what I want it to be. And because that jigsaw blade is only like 1/8 of an inch, the kerf on it won't give me as many issues as you typically would get on this piece here. Now what to do is cut this out on the piece of acrylic. Should be fun.
Well, the time has come. We have our legs
Thick
assembled
ass-
here. I
thick
just
ass
ran
legs.
over them
Is
with a
this
little bit
too
of
old?
80 just to smooth
got
out
so one.
some of the mild
This you don't want too many,
inconsistencies. We got them pretty close. Our next step, we are going to be taking
Not bad, though.
this Bondo wood
put
filler,
two of them together.
mixing it up in small batches,
two
and
thick ones,
coating
two
this
thick ones,
outer edge
and 4 in
along
total.
with the screw holes here that are dimpled. We're using Bondo wood filler. If you're ever in the Home Depot, you'll see Bondo wood filler and regular Bondo. The only difference is this stuff sands a little bit easier and it takes paint and stain very well. So if you were
Okay.
using it for more
Cool.
traditional woodworking
Bondo.
applications, regular Bondo would be fine, but I feel like this would be nice because it'll help sand a little bit easier on these outside edges. When
Bondo.
doing any Bondo work also, you want to make sure you get about 3 to 5 minutes of working time with this. So you want to mix up small batches. So I'll probably do a batch per side. So it'll be a decent bit of Bondoing. This will probably be the longest step in this process before we get her into finish. But we're gonna Bondo her, get her cleaned up, then it's time for paint. All right,
What's up, wasabi?
got her mixed up here. Like I said, we're just gonna be doing small batches. I'm by no means a Bondo expert. I feel like I've been around Bondo experts, so I feel like
Oh, okay.
maybe that
Cool.
makes me an observer of a Bondo,
Bondo
expert.
expert,
So
sure.
I'm probably just a Bondo greenhorn. I don't know why they got rid of the red hardener. Joe and I have been
This is,
talking about that for about the past hour. Got this green hardener now. I used to like the red hardener because
What's
the
this called
paddles
now?
were pink and then you could kind of match the color up and you're like, oh, I know I'm doing it right. You want to make sure to splatter some on the ground
Oh,
so
well, the paste.
everyone knows you were Bondoing. Yeah, get some on your camera, guy.
So
I made
Okay,
this
the
mess of
almost
Bondo
almost-
on
oh,
here.
not
I'm gonna go ahead now and sand it down, try to pretty it up, get it ready for primer. Yeah, we had a little bit of over Bondo there.
Yeah.
No need to showcase that on the old camera. Oh no. Now we begin. No one will know about it.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. Shaded in really well.
So now that the legs are done, we're gonna get the Bondo on them and get them prepped for finish. And in order to make sure that we actually get a good finish, we need to temperature control the spray booth better. It's a blistering 95 degrees outside. The shop's hot as hell. Not to mention, when we're spraying in the winter, it's not good in there either. So we want to temperature control our spray booth, and we're gonna do that with a mini split, the DIY series mini split from Mr. Cool.
Mr.
Now,
Cool.
we put one of these in the epoxy room when we were still using it for an epoxy room.
call me.
We have one of these in the CNC room, and we absolutely love it. If you're doing
Mr.
anything in your
Cool.
garage or anything in a space that needs air conditioned, you can't beat these things. And they're super easy to install. Check it out.
DIY
Get
series.
this hung up
thing is
here. We're gonna
cool.
add some bracing behind it. We want our hole lined up with exactly where we want it to go out. For our layout here, this is exactly where this split's gonna be.
Okay.
So Sam and I are gonna level this, tape this up on the wall, and this takes care of like a lot of the guesswork for what we're
Makes
gonna
me
be doing
wanna
here in the
play
next
Minecraft.
step. If you wanna do one of these yourself, they have this like
Minecraft
incredible
server
step-by-step
build.
video that even a Knuckle Dragon
builds
moron like
Minecraft
myself
stuff
can
and
follow.
things
As I
like
said, we've done a
that.
few of these and it makes it so much easier if you just use that video. The lines come pre-charged. Pretty much all you gotta do is run power to it and you're good to go. We got the holes in the wall, we got the mounting bracket hung, literally as easy
Not
as
gonna
it can
brag
be.
either.
Now we just feed
I'm
these
pretty
things
adept
through.
at
Sam's gonna
Minecraft.
take his good old time because that's how he functions. The little wall plate there to protect your cable as it's
Yeah,
going out.
build
This will
stuff.
be on an external wall, so it'll be through brick. We don't have an epoxy room anymore
That looks cool.
because we're
I
doing
like
all of our shipping
the
out of
little,
there.
thing as well.
So now we can use this room in the winter as an epoxy room. I know you guys are probably
Oh,
saying to
for the,
yourselves, why would you want to condition a paint booth? It's just going to
outlet.
suck all the air out. We know that. Anything that we can do in the winter to heat it up in here, which the Mr. Cool units also do, works way better than just having this thing being cooking hot or terribly, terribly cold. So when you're setting the machine outside, which is where we're at now, you want to make sure you give yourself a nice level ground. You can pour a pad, you can do gravel. We've got some pavers
Okay,
and some
that's cool. They
sand.
just
It's going to
did
be the
that.
easiest
I like
thing for
that.
us to do.
They just made the
We
level
keep it as
ground on
close to
top of
building
the
as
rough-
possible.
the
Just make sure
non-level
whatever
ground.
it's down on, it's heavy
Cool.
enough that it can be bolted into. You also need an electrical run. We're not pros here, so get that done beforehand. You can see we got our box run done by a pro.
All good.
Now we get to set our pavers and then set our unit.
Oh, this is cool.
Next thing we're going to be doing here is connecting
This is
the
dope.
lines.
I like this. With the,
This will be our
blocks. On
our,
this is sick.
whatever the, I don't
lie.
actually know what it's called because I can't read. But our charge
slabs?
line that's going to go into the building. It's
stone
pretty simple.
slabs.
This thing
Oh,
comes
shit.
pre-charged. This is why this whole
shit,
kit's
my
like
teeth
super
on.
easy. You can do it on your own, which makes these awesome for the DIYer. We'll send the big whip through the wall. After
Okay.
that, it's simply electrical. And basically, we're just following the video and the directions. Like this, I'm telling you, this thing is super easy. And
looks
now we got
super
the
easy
power
the
and
way they're doing
everything's
it.
hooked up.
They
Bring
just
on
plug
the
everything
full-
up and then
You're
connect
looking
stuff.
at
That's it.
temperature control.
Just connecting
literally
stuff.
any environment.
Choose where you wanna put it.
can definitely check
Or just
out the
connect stuff.
ductless mini
It's cool.
splits, the DIY kits from
This is
Mr.
dope.
Cool. There's a link down below. You can check them out. Appreciate you, Mr. Cool, for supporting what we do here. Now, we're gonna get this room cooled off so Sam can get to the finished part, and I'm gonna keep working on this damn river. It's kicking my ass.
Hello there, Dan. You've arrived at a very special moment. You've arrived at prime time to prime these legs. We're going to be applying our standard claw lock primer. Then we're going to be doing a base coat, which we procured from AutoZone. It's a lacquer-based gold, brass, flaky
Lacquer-based,
sort of
okay.
look. And then we're going to be clearing it with just some standard lacquer. And yeah, I think everything should go okay. Bond odor up and let us spray.
We cut out the rough shape of the river using a fine-tooth jigsaw, some compressed air to keep it cool, and it came out pretty good. Sam did some tests with the router that gave us a nice sharp edge here. So now I'm going to use our template and route this edge. Pray we don't get a bunch of chip out because this is not typically how you would do this. I just don't know another way. We're running out of time. I need this done in the next hour. So here
Is
we
this,
go.
oh, these are like holders. I don't know. Yeah, like mash.
If you guys are curious on what was actually happening, we're using compressed air not only to keep the chips away from the blade, but it also helps to cool it down. We know that if we run this bit in this acrylic, basically for any period of time that it can really overheat, and then it starts to gum up your bit. So that's kind of why we're doing it the way we're doing it. Now we got to do the other side.
That look good? Am I ready to go out?
It is time to route the pockets for the glass or the acrylic to sit inside. This is a little bit tricky. It's not something I love doing. What I typically like to do is route the first pass and then come back and then just clean it up by hand without having to use the template. So the template will give me my initial spacing. So I think that's how I'm going to do it, and we'll go from there. In the words of the feared and sometimes intelligent Sam Pula, it could all go catastrophically wrong at this point.
All right, the time has come. We are about to lay our base coat on these legs. I believe this is a first for us that we're using a rattle can base coat. Not fully opposed to it. It is lacquer based. It seemed to have worked out well on this little Audi R8. The reason we're going with this rattle can is because we're pressed for time. And this was available at the AutoZone, the exact color we needed. And I'm able to go over it with our more industrial grade clear coat lacquer. So it should be just as, maybe even a little more, no, it should be just as protected as our normal pieces. So without further ado, let us spray.
Oh, that looks dope. Gold like that?
So essentially what I've been doing is just kind of hogging out the rest of the pocket, and by the rest I
Nice
mean
on that
the
birch.
next layer of it. I have some stuff I'm gonna have to fix here that won't look so bad, but I think that's kind of how I'm gonna progress through it. I'll get the big router out to do the final pocket, and I'll probably put a little bit on it. Getting into this deep part, I'm gonna have to have a wide plate that sticks back out to the left, and I have a tool that I can do that with. I'm not gonna
Okay.
do in
That
here.
tool
I need
looks
to
dope.
get this all taken care of,
Why?
but I can't do that with what I have.
got on his hand. Yeah, that's dope. Good precision, good control.
I messed up a little bit. Let's see how she fits. Wow, not gonna lie.
Oh, that's a nice little. That's
Minus the mess up.
That's
here.
really nice.
So I should be able to patch in there. Or what we might do is 3D print a
That still
photo
looks
of
good.
Sam's
That
face and just embed it right
that fits
there.
perfectly like a puzzle.
I don't know. Debating. I'm also debating metal legs. It's a risky procedure.
Metal legs.
It's a risky procedure. We'll see.
We already have fine plywood legs, no metal legs going on this table.
All right, one side, the hard part's done. Now it's refinement. Nice one, huh? Bearing just took the MDF. See how it got all thin right here? Bearing just went you right over top of the MDF. Smushed it right in. So it was perfect. That was on my cleanup pass. I love you. I love this. Joe, I love it.
All right, so we have our pockets routed out on the table here. This guy's flipped. We have the bottom. These old girls are gonna get sanded now. And after sanding, we'll take these to finish. In order to sand these, we are employing the help of the one, the only Rocky. Rocky is our summer intern.
Nice, cool.
He's about 6'4", 220, absolutely jacked. Yep. So he's going to be sanding these old girls from 80 all the way up to 220, so that we could hopefully get this finished by tomorrow. What an ambitious timeline we have set for ourselves, but I think we will most certainly achieve it. Do you think so, Joe?
What are we doing after this?
After this? Well, we have to build the entire subframe, embed the TV in there, make sure all the tech works, finish that subframe, spray the legs. This is going to need to get sprayed after. All right, so we're going to check back in with you guys later. Enjoy this B-roll of Rocky sanding. Pew. All right, now the time everyone's been waiting for. The time to router this little hole out of this crevice. I used the file that we traced this slab with and expanded it so everything was in proportion so that we could cut out this little puddle here, laser this out, then I'll use the reverse as my template on the acrylic to embed that in there. But I'm just gonna use some double-face tape, adhere
some sweet plantain.
on, router her out, and we should have a channel, and then we should be good to go.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All right, so the rattle can job is dry, and honestly, I don't think it's looking too bad. I was very, very surprised. I was a bit skeptic about doing the rattle can, but to give it an added layer of protection and make sure it could stand the test of time, we are going to be clearing it with our actual industrial grade lacquer. It's a fine product. No sponsor, but I love this Magnatex, super dull flat finish. So we're gonna go ahead and put about 3 or 4 coats of this on those legs, get them all primo, and keep chugging along with this fine project.
All right, we're this TV right now. Sam wants to get it into the office, so we're gonna take it in there. I'm gonna set it up. While I'm setting that up, he's gonna kind of get a game plan together for the subframe that's required for this to sit inside of.
And we have a surprise. We're putting a Zune in this bad boy. John said we could put a Zune in the table.
What's a Zune?
Comment below if you know what a Zune is.
What's a Zune?
TV.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. More packaging. You could correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know that much about tech. But I feel like this is the most dated cable. VGA, excuse me,
VGA is mad old.
What purpose could this possibly serve? Oh wow, she already got some dust on her.
VGA is 1990.
So we're gonna go ahead and measure length and width of this. This is, I think, a happy accident. The corners are radiused, which is nice. So what I'm gonna do is probably get these measurements and just throw a file in the CNC. When it cuts it, we actually should be able to match this radius, which is gonna be pretty cool because we don't have to, I thought it was gonna be square, we'd have to chisel things out, but we should be all good to go. All right, she's all cut out now. added a little bit on here, so we have like a 1/16 on either side the full way around, just so it's not too tight whenever we finish it. It won't add to, we won't have to worry about fitment. And also, the TV sometimes needs to breathe, I think. Don't listen.
Okay.
She's got room to breathe if she chooses to.
There's some cooling in there, though. Oh, shit. Let's see this right here.
Beautiful. Mission accomplished.
It looks good.
Nice.
Just gotta build a box now.
Russian birch plywood,
Okay.
put a little dado in it, put a floor in it, screw it to this, and then we'll call it a day. To suspend the TV up, I'm just gonna do a piece of 3/4 that spans the full perimeter of this, so we could have it sitting perfectly flush with the surface. So yeah, we'll get this assembled, primed, painted, and then we should be at the final stages of this table.
This thing is cool. It's this TV frame. They're laying it down in there, or is it like, I don't know. I gotta show you be able to, press on it. I guess it's touchscreen on there. Okay.
One of the last things we need to do before we get this sucker finally put together
that thing is magnet. This, wait, what is that?
Before we get this sucker finally put together,
There's a magnet on the other side of the
polish
set.
the edge of the
thing.
acrylic.
That's cool.
See how it's all kind of hazy here? When I can come through and just give it a
Magnet
quick
is
little
strong even when it's
sand.
rotating. And the pressure too. That'll.
Then I can peel the paper back mildly with the fingernails I don't have. I'm curious, are you a fingernail person? Like, do you have fingernails, or
No.
do you let your fingernails grow?
No, I cut
I
'em.
feel like, you know,
I don't like
I feel
when
like it's
they
a very
grow.
important subject. I feel like it's a lot of
Makes
people
my
talk
hand
about it
feel
a lot of the time,
small.
you know. Just trying to be careful
weird.
here. Acrylic does scratch pretty easily. So then we do this.
I don't know. Not a man. She's mad
Polishes
big. I
that
don't know.
edge up real
It's crazy.
nice.
I hate growing my nails.
What's up?
Nice cut.
So I'm going to debate on going
around.
around and doing the rest. I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling today.
Need for
Let
nails.
my
is,
feelings
you know,
control my
It's
decision.
not rare. It's like, not often. Maybe like
All right.
2 out of 10.
We have our
1 out of
slabs
10.
in the
Yeah,
old spray room. We got them flipped upside down right now. We're just going to be hitting these with some lacquer, however, beforehand. Get our base coats. We're going to put a vinyl sealer on this, give it some lacquer, give it some love, give it some spray, and then send her away.
All right, everything is basically dry, so we're gonna put these mounting plates on. This is what we'll be able to mount to the top with, and then from there
feels good,
we
too,
are
when you
looking
grab
at
stuff. Like when you
just
grab
getting the
stuff with
electronics and
nails, it feels
stuff all
mad
set,
weird, you know?
and she'll be ready to rock and roll. It's looking pretty damn good. Cue the B-roll montage.
Please, my hands. Get it over. Tic-tac-toe.
All right, she's in. She's all clean and tidy. It's time for the big meeting.
That's it? Wait,
I told you.
Oh, they put the okay. Wait. Wait, I wanted to see the TV in
with,
action.
some
Oh, fuck. It's
Cue the B.
that looks dope, though, with the water. That looks dope. Okay, it's underneath. I'm tweaking. They just had to take the slab off. It's like anything in my It's cool, though,
All
for
right,
these
she's
projects.
in. She's all clean and tidy. It's time for the big meeting.
That's dope. What was the...
I told you $5 million and I'll do another epoxy table. I guess we have no deal.
Oh, man.